I'm online looking at the rate of bone fractures in the United States, and it says here on this very fancy website that approximately 6.8 million Americans break a bone each year. Considering the population of the United States is about 300 million, that gives us about roughly 2 out of every 10 Americans break their bones annually. And that means that 8 out of every 10 Americans don't break their bones annually. And I have never broken my bone. So that means, by the law of transitivity, I am 8 out of every 10 Americans. Millions of people in the United States alone are breaking their bones and having to deal with unimaginable pain. And I consider myself really lucky to have never had to go through that pain. That terrible, just horrible, terrible pain. But I have hurt myself. Not on purpose, but just because I'm being an idiot. Or because I'm near an idiot. That idiot is also usually me. I've stubbed toes, I got hit in the face with a shoe, fallen off of a skateboard, fallen downstairs. I've fallen down the stairs more than I'd like to admit. One time with an entire plate of spaghetti. But that was more of an emotional pain than a physical one. So, I've never broken a bone, but the worst pain I've had to deal with was in college on an inflatable obstacle course. I was spending the better part of an absolutely gorgeous day inside when I hear fun coming from outside my window. I go to see what it is, and I see all of these inflatable bouncy castles and obstacle courses outside on the mall, which is like the main area of the school. Near the end of the year, when finals happen, the school rents out this third-party entertainment company to blow up all of these obstacle courses and games for the students to play on so they can unwind for finals, which makes sense, and it's really nice. And it's a lot better than some half-hearted email about how not to let finals get to your head. This was, instead, a really nice thing for the school to do. It was actually really nice. They had bouncy castles, an obstacle course, and they had one that you had to do like this. I don't know how to explain it. It's not important. What is important is the obstacle course, because that's where all of my friends are hanging out. As I'm looking out the window, I can see that they're taking turns racing each other through the obstacle course to see who's faster. Clearly they were having a blast, and I wanted to have some blast. So I went outside to go meet them. I go outside and meet up with my friends and say that I want to race them. And we have a really fun time racing for most of the afternoon. And during this, I'm actually winning most of the races. You see, I had an advantage. While most people are fast or strong, my body is wiggly, which is perfect for an inflatable obstacle course environment. I can get around and over and through most any obstacle with relative ease. This allowed me to get a pretty big head about winning, because I was doing it a lot. The day was wrapping up and inflatable things were starting to be taken down. But I wanted one more race because I was on a winning high. One for the road, you know? The obstacle course was like this. Start, get over some bumps, dive through a hole, duck through some sideways pillars, then climb up a wall, and then slide down the other side, and whoever touches the bottom platform first wins. So the race starts, and that's exactly what I go through. Over the bumps, through the hole, sideways pillars, climb up the wall, and at this point, I'm pretty far ahead of my roommate. With the extra time I've gained, I decided I was going to be flashy. So I prop myself up, and instead of sliding down, I... What ended up happening was the inflatable structure was not fully inflated. There was a hole in it somewhere, so there was a lot of give to the inflatable course. And because I had jumped off of the top instead of sliding down, all of my inertia when I landed on the bottom platform punched through to the ground and did nothing to stop my momentum. I ended up landing all of my weight onto one of my ankles, and it really hurt. Now, I've never broken a bone before, but in this moment, I sincerely thought that I had. The guy who was taking down the obstacle course, like, peeked around the corner and was like, "You good?" And because I'm an idiot and embarrassed, I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Cool," and then left. I was absolutely writhing in pain, though. My friends had to drag me aside and lay me down because I couldn't stand up on my own. Thankfully, I have really good and loving friends, and one of them was actually a practicing nurse. So she went and grabbed a kit of a nurse thing and looked at my foot and told me to go to the doctor. I agreed, but because I couldn't exactly stand right yet, we decided to wait for the crippling pain to subside a little bit before we left. so to pass the time, my good and loving friends made jokes at my expense. Eventually, we do end up getting to the doctor, and the doctor explains that we should probably x-ray it just to make sure that there's no hairline fractures or something like that. To which I agree, so we go and get my foot x-rayed. And they determined my foot was fine. Not broken, just a sprain. Which is really hard to believe because of how much pain I had to go through. Also, it's been like 3 years and it still hurts. Ow. But they insisted that it was just a sprain, so never broken a bone. So that's the worst I've ever been hurt without breaking anything. In one hand, I have the pain I've been talking about, spraining my ankle, and that hurt. That was really bad. In the other hand, I have pain I've never experienced before, which is breaking a bone. Actually, really breaking a bone. Knowing what this felt like, I don't know if I could survive this pain. But there's only one way to find out. Thanks for watching this video. Before I go, a couple things. When I was editing this, my cousin discovered an old home video of all of us playing on a slide as kids. Just really quick, let's check it out. This is me. Look at those big old peepers. What is wrong with me? This was a deep-seated problem from childhood. I can't operate slides, I guess. Just get up on the top and... I'm not known for my intelligence. Moneymaker's up here. One more thing before I go. Dingo made a video a while ago with me in it, and I talk about another time I was hurt. You should check it out. The video is here. Also, while you're over there, subscribe to her channel. She's great. Yeah. You can also subscribe to my channel, and if you do, in the next 10 minutes... I will eat this entire other subscriber. Look at me. Look at my eyes. Do I look like somebody who likes to work? Or do I look like somebody who likes to eat pizza like a cookie? Personally, I think it's kind of weird how much we're expected to work in high school. Like, you have to go and serve people McDoubles for 4 hours and then go home and solve for X. That's a lot of work. Does anybody else think that's crazy? Or am I crazy? I am crazy. I really did not want to get a job when I was growing up. I don't like to work. I just like the money. But if you want to go to the movie theater with your buddies, you gotta have the cash. One ticket, your total is $20. For my first job, I wanted to avoid the food service because I feared people would be a little bit more abrasive when it comes to their meals. You'll find rude customers anywhere, but I just feel like when food's involved, things get a little hairy. I don't want people yelling at me about onions? I don't care about onions. I ended up working somewhere that's not food, which I will show you through example. That's right, my very first job was here at the UPS store. It was not really that great, just a regular job. Don't worry about that. When I turned the age of 16, my dad helped me network with the local UPS store and get me a job, which thank you, Dad, for helping me do that because at that age, I was not the proper candidate for being an employee. While working there, I met a lot of really nice people and a lot of really cool people. But when you work in retail, it's impossible to not meet some, how would I say this in a nice way? Outliers. So one time this woman and her daughter came into the store and they said they needed to ship something. When you ship something out of the UPS store, you gotta ask a bunch of questions like, where is it going? Is it going internationally? Do I need to be worried about what's in this box? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going through these questions and entering information into the computer as I did with any customer. But apparently that was a wrong thing to do because she unfolded her cane, which apparently just turned into a chair, sit down and says, this is gonna take a while. Excuse me? Why would you say that? You could say a million things to me. Why not compliment me? Why not say, wow, Andy, your eyes look beautiful today? She was shipping internationally, which means I had to do extra steps to make sure it gets there. So after a minute or so, she turns to me and says, you guys should really have the computers on our side of the desk so we can do it faster than you. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know all the rules and regulations for shipping overseas? Do you know how this computer works? No. The worst part about rude customers is that you can't say anything despite if they're wrong or not. The customer is not always right, and the person who coined that famous phrase was very wrong, and probably it was also a customer. I think if you're mean to retail workers, they get to yell back at you. Or at the very least, you get to tell them that they're mean and make them leave. You're mean! I've only ever encountered these kinds of people at work, and I've never seen them in the wild. But if I did, and I didn't have to keep my mouth shut because I didn't work there, then I'd go right up to them and say, you're mean! Anyway. Then there was this other time when this guy tried to ship drugs. That day was particularly slow. Nobody was coming in, and it was just me and my coworker, Tony. Tony and I got along really well, because neither of us like to work. I want to go home. Me too. At one point, a guy comes in to buy just a single box. Simple, easy, he's in and out in a jiffy. But 5 minutes later, he comes back in, same box, but now something's packed up inside it. I saw the box and how he packed it, and he did the thing where he kind of fold the flaps on top of each other, which is a problem because then it just falls out if it's not taped. Can I get a description of what's in this box? It's private. I mean, we just need a general description, like, is it food, perishable? It's microchips. Okay. Microchips. Now, because the box wasn't properly taped, Tony came over and was gonna tape it up for me while I was helping him on the computer. But the guy stops Tony. I just need to retape the box really quick so it doesn't come out during shipment. The tape's free if that's what you're worried about. Okay. He timidly allows us to do that, which I don't really know what his end game was because we opened the box and there was weed. Sir, we can't ship this. I'm no expert on illegal trade of illicit goods, but I know a thing or two about shipping, and I know that drugs, you can't do that one. That's on the no-go zone. We opened the box because we needed to redo the flaps so we could tape it properly. So if he just came in with the box taped, we wouldn't have known what he was shipping. There's no x-ray machine at the UPS store to see what's inside the box. The only missing component here was tape. More than anything, the situation just was awkward. Okay, that's, sorry. I want to go home. Me too. Here's some advice. If you want to ship drugs, don't. Then there's this other time where this guy tried to overnight a misshapen magazine. This time I was working alone. It was a night shift. It's dark out. And this guy comes in holding a magazine. Hello, sir. I can help you at this register. Oh, he's just getting an envelope. Probably to ship that magazine. Is he packing it up back there? Is he trying to hide something from me? Weird. I want to go home. I'd like to ship this next day air, please. When you ship like a piece of paper next day air, UPS has this special envelope that makes it cheaper. And I saw that he's trying to do that. So I talked to him about it. Oh, actually, we have these special envelopes that cut you a deal, so it's cheaper to ship next day air. At first, he was hesitant about that, which is definitely a red flag, because it was like $100 cheaper to ship through the special envelope. And why wouldn't you do that? You could spend $100 on buying, like, I don't know, Five Guys. That's a lot of Five Guys. Five Guys good. But still, nobody would pass that up. So it was weird that he hesitated. I eventually talked him into it because I think he was like catching on that I was catching on that he was being suspicious. So I started typing in the information for him, and he started to move the magazine from the envelope he picked up already to the other envelope that I offered him. And while he was doing this, I saw that it had a big weird lump in it. So that's another red flag. 2 for 2, baby. Why was the magazine bulgy? Is he shipping drugs? Oh my God, this is like $1,000. Who is he sending this to? What if it's the mob? Well, now I have my fingerprints on it. And then I sent it off. I don't want to get involved with the mob or whoever that was. I was 16, alone in this store at night, and not paid enough for it to be my problem. I guess now that I'm on the topic of illicit substance distribution, there was this other guy. He would always come into the store and be like, hey, I shipped a box to your store, and it's big. And we'd be like, oh, is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. Of all the other customers, this guy was very easy to deal with and really charming. But one day, a couple of other customers came in, and they're like, hello, we're the police. They asked to see the manager, and they talked to him, and then a couple days later that guy picked up a box and then was arrested in the parking lot. Turns out he was importing a lot of opium. I think it was around this time that I realized I miscalculated when I passed up all those food service jobs. But then again, is any retail job good enough? I don't know. I better would have had a better time at Five Guys. Stop eating the french fries. Anyway, hindsight's 2020. Other stuff that happened. One dude asked me if the narwhal bacon's at midnight, which was very cringe, and trust me, I know cringe. A bunch of cheerleaders burst into the store, cheered, ran in a circle, and then left. We suspect they were just trying to cause a commotion while their friends would steal things, but then realized there was nothing interesting to steal at a UPS store, and then went away. There was a guy that would often come in and try to ship bath salts, which... Again, I'm not paid enough for that. A man wanted me to send faxes, and then when I told him the number wasn't working, he shook the paper in my face and yelled, fax! It's not working. Fax! Another dude wanted me to help him with his email because the government was hacking his email. There's a guy that would come in a lot and tell us about word affirmation, but thought that it was literally magic and not just a self-motivator, and told us that the sounds in our voices affected atoms and quarks on the quantum level and would make things a reality. For example, like if you just said, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, then it would be true. There was always the classic handful of people that would knock on the door after we were closed and ask if we were open. You guys open? No. And that's all that I can think about. If you subscribe, I will throw this box, help me, into a volcano. Thank you, Villa, for helping me animate this video. And that's everything. Now I'm gonna play myself out. Stop. Youngest in the family, raise your hands. Look at the baby. I'm 30. Being the youngest in the family comes with its pros and cons. The pros: you get a lot of attention, you get pampered, and people are pretty easy on you. Usually after having a couple kids, the parents are tired, so they put less restrictions on you. Like getting a cell phone at 10, but your siblings had to wait till 15. The cons: I have 2 sisters in my family. One of them is older than me, and so is the other one. We've had some good times, and we've had some bad times. But through it all, I love them like they're my own 2 sisters. Wait, this is Becca. She's the second oldest sibling, and she likes makeup, and she's really, really good at art. This is Krista. She's the oldest sibling. She likes murder mystery podcasts, and she's really, really good at knowing about murder. Hey, where did she go? Hey! And then there's me. I like to draw.
Make good pancakes. You make really good pancakes.
Should I put that in?
Yeah.
And I make really good pancakes. Becca and I got along pretty well when I was younger. It wasn't impossible for us to butt heads every once in a while, but we were cool most of the time because of our mutual appreciation of art and Pokemon. We became art buddies pretty early on because she drew a lot and I thought that was cool, and I wanted to draw too. That's part of how I got into comics. I started doodling on my own instead of with Becca, then drawing and reading comics, and eventually making ice cream sandwich comics, and now this. You, watching me, talk to you, watching you. Oh, Chris and I have a good relationship now, but back in the day, the rivalry was strong. The rivalry. It's like rural rival. She would pull pranks on me, is what I'm trying to say. For example, do ants poop? Hey, Andy, come here. I bet you can't fit into this box with the top closed. I can do that. Doubt it. Okay, check this out. See? Like a glove. Bet you feel stupid now, huh? Krista? She let me out before I died, which was nice and surprising. I'm not sure why she did it, but I am sure that it spawned a powerful claustrophobia inside me. Not everything my sisters did hurt me. Sometimes it hurt me, but with a benefit. For example, when I was a little baby, before I could even speak, my sisters and I would have breakfast together and watch Saturday morning cartoons on the telly. Usually breakfast was just cereal, and it was the rule that you just had to finish your milk after you ate your cereal. For some reason, as kids, we didn't like to do that. Good job finishing your cereal. Now don't forget to drink your milk as well. Yeah, okay.
In my will, Uncle Willie. Oh boy, I wish. But you don't get 1 cent if you harm any animals, especially.
Good job, girls. Andy, finish your milk.
You're free now with the rabbit. Go and whomp and frolic in the forest.
How could this happen to me? I made a mistake. And because I couldn't say anything, I couldn't defend myself. But joke's on them because it taught me to always drink my milk after my cereal. And now, I'm tall. Drink your milk. Sometimes, Krista would prank both Becca and I, because, you know, that's kind of the role of the oldest. She calls us into this side room and shows us this very large bottle of vodka and tells us she found it in Mom's and Dad's secret stash, which they didn't have, but we were young and we believed anything. She said that she was going to drink it, and even though Becca and I didn't know anything about alcohol, except that you got it for free in church with a little bread, but outside of religion, it was strictly for adults, and drinking it was absolutely off limits. Do you dare me to do it? Krista? Krista, don't do it. If you do it...
Oh my god!
I emptied it out. It was just water. Okay, at this point I should just expect it. That one's on me, guys. I think the moral of the story is that Krista was really good at pranking us. Like, if she committed a crime, she'd probably be able to get away with it. Thievery, murder. All in all, we had our spats, but everyone goes through that. My siblings, I grew out of it pretty easily, I'd say. In conclusion, I love my sisters. Both Becca and Krista. Krista? Krista? Krista! Thanks for watching this video. Come join us on Twitter, where we have a good time hanging out. Twitter.com. It's there. I intend to keep my promise I made at the end of the last video. So, let's see here. Recent subscribers in the last 28 days. Doc Crush. DeCrush? Doc Crush? DeCrush?
You can pick someone else.
No, I'm doing this one. They won. And they get the prize. Congratulations. I am not a smart person, and I never have been, and I never will be. But there's a lot of people who say otherwise, and they support me, and they love me. I'd like to make something very clear to everyone who loves and supports me. Yeah! Get away from my house! I know what I'm talking about when I'm calling myself stupid or dumb. This isn't a self-deprecating thing or a self-hate thing. It's just like one of those facts of life. Earth is round, sun is bright, I got square brain. Remember the hurt video I did and there was like a bunch of math at the beginning? I wrote the script for that video, recorded the audio for that video, edited that audio, and then listened to the audio while I was animating over the audio. And it wasn't until somebody told me in the comments that I realized that my math is bad. And I got square brain. How did I get through school? Barely. Every time I have a misunderstanding where there really shouldn't be any misunderstanding, I've been writing it down and putting it in this list. And now I have a list of all of the times I was being dumb. So now my stupidity is quantifiable. Look, you can see that's how many times. Too many. Let's take a trip down idiot lane. Let's look at a couple of these. Pay-per-view is not pay-per-view. I learned this one about a year ago. I was looking at some paper and thought to myself, paper sounds a lot like pay-per-view. 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 Pay-per-view implies there's paper involved instead of a TV. Like you would just get some papers with pictures of the show you want to watch. Turns out it's something that you pay every time you view it. Who'da thunk? Calling someone a sweet pea is not calling them a pea of which is sweet. I thought maybe people like back in the day were like, yes, honey, could you hand me the sugar for my peas? That's not what people talk like in the 50s, but you get my point. Anyway, it's a flower. Which is considerably less gross. I really don't know what I was thinking of, but when information enters my mind, it just... I don't know what happens to it. I'm stupid. What would a sweet pea taste like? What is that flavor? If I had a nickel every time I was dumb, I would not have to be smart to make a lot of money. I thought for a very long time that peer pressure was pure pressure. There's water pressure, air pressure, and then there's your friends. What do you think my IQ is? I'm gonna tweet it. I wanna see what people say. Apple, 2. At least 3. One of them for each little hair proof. Oh no. 2,500. At least 100%. It's not wrong. 2. Jonathan. Big. 0. Another 0. 82. 82. That's like a real answer. Banana. No. 149. That's a lot. A billion. 120 something? That's another real answer. Out of this world. Big. Fruit. Gummy. God. Peanut. Pants. Pancakes. Guys, it's supposed to be a number. Are you guys hungry? Potato. Taking a deuce is taking a number 2 because deuce is 2 in Spanish. Maybe German. Deuce. I spelled it wrong. Wait a second. It's English. Wait, it's English. What? It's just English. Deuce is English. What? Mushrooms are called toadstools because it's like a stool for a toad. Honestly, you could have called it anything and it would have accepted it. Oh, what's that? It's called salt mask bird. Amazing. I'm accepting that as fact. In conclusion, I'm not got the smart. There are a lot of other people in this world that are really, really good at retaining information. A lot better than I. But I'm good at other things, like this little dance. Silver lining, now I know all of these things, and my intelligence has been improving, if only a little, over time, which isn't always the case for everybody. Thanks for watching. I love seeing you watch my videos. Thank you for watching. 911? Yeah, he's back. If you haven't seen the video I've done with Noodle yet, we did a collab, and you should check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's a fun time. And you know what else is a fun time? Noodle and I are also going to be streaming a little Bob Ross action Friday. Editor's note, by Friday, I mean literally today, 3:30 CST. Also, you can follow along with us, and then we're going to check out everybody's paintings afterwards. So if you're into that, come on by. So come check that out too. If you want a notification for when that happens, the bell icon does that. I think that's everything. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, then I will appear in your room
tonight.
If you're anything like me, you don't like sports. I go get the ball. You just threw it, you go get it. I feel like if I was better at sports, I'd like them more, but I am not good at sports. If you're to look at my history with sports, you will see that my performance, it is bad. Yo, catch! I don't really like watching sports either, but I do understand there's a little crossover with what constitutes as a good time. Snacks, hanging with the boys, balls. I can see the appeal, it's just not my thing. For me, personally, I do other stuff for fun. Ooh, ice. Woo! Give it a good stir. I did it. He likes it. You want a sip? You want a taste? Do you like it? You like it? Oh yeah? Yeah? You want it? You want it? Go get it. The other thing I like to do for fun is learn things online indiscriminately. Well, there's no easy way to say this, so. I am sponsored by Skillshare. Again, Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take their next step in their creative journey. Have you looked at my YouTube videos and thought, Well, if you'd like to make your own YouTube channel, you can. Learn from the man, the myth, the legend himself, MKBHD. Writing your script, shooting your videos, growing your channel. It's really good. Maybe I should take this class. Skillshare is specifically made for learning, so there's no ads, which is great. And there's new premium classes always being added, which is also great. It's great. Skillshare costs less than $10 a month for an annual subscription. But if you'd like to try it for free, then there's a link in the description that will give you a free trial of premium membership for the first 1,000 people that click on it. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so the first sport I ever went out for was basketball. Half court! My parents signed me up through the local YMCA, and every practice session was everybody just throwing basketballs at the hoop for like an hour, and I was really not good at it. In fact, the entire time I played basketball, I never made a single shot, except for one time. We were playing some game against a much better team who continuously scored on us. I hardly ever got the ball because everybody knew that I could not handle that. But in this game, I was in a really advantageous position, and someone tossed the ball to me, and there was my shot. Wide open, and I took it, and I made it. I was so happy for my first score. And then we lost the game. I have made no significant difference on the outcome. And then I got a medal. I do not know how that works out, but it was fun. I got so much dopamine in that moment that it seared a memory into my brain. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I'll always remember that moment. I don't know how I feel about giving kids medals for losing. I don't know if it's really good for mental development, but it does feel good. After a certain amount of time, I stopped playing basketball and started playing baseball instead. At this point, I was a little older and I had marginally improved on my hand-eye coordination, so I could take baseball a little bit more seriously. And this time, I was on a team with my friends, which was awesome. It made playing the game way more fun. There was a snack bar at the place that we played games at, so we could always go and get like Big League Chew, and this is not interesting at all, but the nostalgia I get while looking at this product is palpable. It's potent, it's pungent. Ugh, Big League Chew is so good. Actually, hold on. Amazon. Big League Chew. There it is. I could get a pack of 5 for $8. There's a bucket? But yeah, baseball, I was also very bad at this game. I might have been older. I might have had better hand-eye coordination, but I was still bad at throwing, pitching, hitting. You could just generalize it and say that I was bad at the whole game. And you'd be right. I remember playing this one game where the ball landed right next to me. All I needed to do was pick up the ball and toss it. But while I was trying to pick it up, I wasn't looking at my hands. I was looking at the runner, just rounding the bases. And I kept missing while I was picking it up. So I was just looking at the dude taking all the bases while I was crouching over looking like a dumb idiot. And then I looked down and saw that I was missing it, picked it up and tossed it. But the runner got a home run by the time I threw it. Guess who was mad at me for that one? The whole team. If that doesn't sound that bad, trust me when I say it looked way worse if you watched it play out. Whew, tough inning. I'm gonna go get some more Big League Chew. I'm out of the old chew. All right. I was bad, and everybody knew it, including me. They even yelled at me to not throw the ball when I got it because it usually meant someone was going to get another base, if not an entire home run, because I would just miss all of the time. Except for there was one time when I shut everybody up. We were playing a game and we needed one more out to win. I was shortstop at the time, which is right here, and the ball was hit right to me. I picked it up and everybody was telling me, don't throw it. We'll get him out on the next hit. But I didn't listen. Instinct seeped into my brain. I was all animal. I got the out. The whole team was shocked, including myself. And it was the complete opposite of the basketball game because that throw won the game for us. I mean, it wasn't a really impressive throw, but when you take the worst player of the game and you get an out, it's a little bit cool. Everybody was freaking out, and everybody did that thing where they came up to me and they hit me in the head because they were like, good job. I don't get that in sports where they just hit you and spank you, but it is a form of endearment, so it felt very good to be congratulated. That was the coolest play in baseball that I've ever made, and I'll always remember it because all my other memories of playing baseball were really embarrassing. So I guess I get why people like sports. It's exciting when things go good. It's just that things don't go good for me a lot when it comes to that. This is kind of irrelevant, but I was thinking about when I was playing baseball, and I remember this time that there was this kid that we were playing against who was pitching, and he had been hitting every person that went up to bat. And then I went up to bat, and I could see that he was really upset. And then he threw the ball and he hit me. And I was like, hey, I don't have to walk. He can pitch again. I didn't think that hurt at all. And then the ref was like, nope, you have to go. And I was like, okay. And I walked to first base and I saw them crying. I just felt really bad because I know what it's like to suck. I hope that kid's doing okay today. If by some random chance of luck that you're out there watching this right now, just know that you're not alone. It's okay to suck. I suck every day. And then, after a certain amount of time, baseball was done. And then I moved on to track and field, which was really fun because it's easy. You have to do one thing. Run. I like track and field because I considered myself at the time to be pretty quick.
I am speed.
I definitely wasn't the fastest, but I still prided myself on my ability to run. There's no missing the ball on the ground or throwing a ball at a hoop. It's just run. And that I could do. Nothing really interesting happened when I played track and field, just because it is very simple. Look at him run. Yeah, that one's fast. But it was one of the sports I did. There was one day that I became really dehydrated that all I could see was white.
Hey, does it seem really bright out here to you guys?
But that's less about the sport, more about me being dehydrated. I'm surprised I'm alive these days. Anyway, and then I tried cross-country skiing, but that one was the worst because despite everybody's best efforts, I couldn't do it. Every practice after school, we would go out to ski, everybody would be shimmying around, and then there would be me shuffling in place for hours. You got this, Andy. Yes, thank you. I don't know what wasn't clicking, but I couldn't do it. After about a month, I ended up quitting. Breaking up with your girlfriend? That's hard. Beating pogo stuck? It's really hard. Cross-country skiing? It's impossible. Sometimes I play golf, but never in a serious kind of way. There was one time when I tried to play golf with a bunch of friends, and it did not go well at all. It wasn't supposed to go well because we were just like, yeah, it's golf. We'll just hit it around, and if we don't get the ball, whatever. But the way golf courses work is that they want to very efficiently have everybody moving along from one hole to the next, so there's not a lot of people waiting because a bunch of goofballs want to have a good time. So they took me and another friend, and they paired us up with some random people that we just didn't know. They were really nice, and they were like, it's your first time golfing? And we're like, oh, yeah, I mean, we've golfed before, but we don't, we're not too good. And we proceeded to hit every shot into the rough, and they were being really nice and saying, oh, it's okay, you can try again. And eventually they just stopped talking to us because we were so bad. It kind of ruined the vibe. It was really embarrassing to be that bad. But in the end, we met up with our other friends that already finished the course, and we got a couple golf carts and then just raced around in them, which is not allowed. I think it made it worth it. That was a good memory of mine. So I've had my fill of sports. Not my thing. Totally understand why people like it, but I draw cartoon, not to play sport. Artists don't want to move. They just want to sit and draw. I have carpal tunnel. So that's on playing sports, but watching them, you don't have to be good. You can just watch it, right? Not for me. Oh my God, the amount of things that people have to remember. I'm amazed at people's ability to just know who's who, the rules, how well they've been performing. How do you keep up with all of that information? Oh, Billy Bobby Jimmy Johnny got 3 kickies into the goal just last round. He's been doing pretty good this season. What? Who is this guy? And then they changed teams. They were just like swapping them around. That's so much data. I forgot what I ate for breakfast. Or if I even ate breakfast. Oh, it's just way too much. I don't really watch sports or go out to games. I do like going to the stadium sometimes because the food is yummy. You can just sit in the sun and enjoy a hot dog. It's like a comfortable thing. Being there to watch the game, take me out of the ball game. More like take me home and stop at Five Guys on the way. I'm hungry. So in the end, sports are good, just not for me. Thank you for watching. It's the warm season. That means bugs are back out. For bugs, it's the time to thrive and do bug-type stuff. For us, it's the time we get to enjoy the sun and also be thankful that I don't live in Australia. Spiders are not easy to calmly deal with, even if you do not live in Australia, where they're 10 times the size of a small child. They're freaky and scary. This is no secret. I'm totally on the same page. I don't think I could ever muster up enough courage to hold one in my hand or let one crawl on my arm like they do to help people who have fear of spiders get over their fear of spiders. Even like a daddy longlegs, which aren't harmful to humans and generally passive. Also not even a spider, apparently. I wouldn't touch them. No thank you. But despite my fear, I try my best to keep the balance of nature and will usually capture and release a spider when I see one indoors. It's not an easy thing to do, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's for the better. Because now birds can eat them. But I'm no total saint. I used to go to a friend's cabin a lot in the summer to engage in summer-type activities, like canoeing and fishing and stuff like that. It's way up in northern Minnesota, right next to the Boundary Waters, so raw nature kind of place. It takes hours to get there, but the trip was always fun because I was with good friends. Lots of good memories there. I miss that cabin. Now, I say cabin, but I really mean like a lake house. It was a really nice place. But when my brain sees a structure next to some water in a woodsy area, my knee-jerk reaction is to call it a cabin. So I'm gonna just keep doing that. Cool. So this cabin was really nice. Everything you needed there, temperature control, electricity, running water, full kitchen. The only thing that was somewhat lacking was pest control, specifically the bug kind. This particular summer, we had just gotten to the cabin. We're bringing our stuff inside from the cars, claiming who gets what bed and what room, stocking the bathrooms and kitchen with supplies for the week, when suddenly... Wow, that's a big spider. Oh my god. This big old beaver spider shows up and just completely stops all unpacking. Here's the current layout of the situation. There's a hallway here, a doorway here, a spider here, and we are all here. Bedrooms where we're unpacking stuff are over here, and literally everything else to the house is this way. So you can see we were in a bit of a pickle. The layout of the house required us to pass through a specific doorway that the spider was specifically in front of, blocking everybody, and being generally terrifying. If I had to guess what spider it was, I would say wolf spider. The as big as your hand / big enough to eat a bird if you felt like it kind. And because of that, nobody wanted to even get close to it. I'm a catch and release kind of guy, but not a catch and release at the expense of my arm kind of guy. So we had this problem that was affecting everybody, and 0 people who wanted to deal with it in an understandable way. Like, what if we try to kill it and we miss it, and then it scurries out of sight? Then we'd have even a worse problem. Good luck sleeping. Or if we do kill it and we hit it with like a broom, and then thousands of little baby spiders came out, then we would have, instead of a big problem, 1,000 smaller problems. Or if we try to capture it and put it outside, it could jump on our faces, and then we would have a spider on our face problem. But thankfully I was there, and I didn't have the forethought to think of any of those situations, so I dove right in to solve the problem. I can't catch and release this spider. Even if I successfully got it outside, it's not like a bird would eat this thing. This thing would probably eat a bird. Think, Andy, think. Why is there a door there? Who would leave a door in the middle of the hallway? Wait a second. Spiders are smaller than doors. That means spiders are weak to doors. That means... I'm not going to touch that now. It's too big. That's not a good idea. I have a family. A demon. My mom and dad was...
Yeah!
I was the hero of the day. And as a reward, I didn't have to clean up the spider guts that was just splattered all over the floor and the door I just crushed it with. Woo! So after that problem was solved by genius boy Andy, we went back to unpacking and had a great rest of the trip. I love that place. A lot of good memories. Lots of good memories. There might be plans to go back there this summer, which I'm really quite excited for. More excited than that spider was big, which is, oh my god, so much. Thank you for watching. It means a lot when you guys read my comics and check out my videos. Despite making countless spelling errors in my comics, you guys are just super nice and give me tons of support. And I love that. I really appreciate that. Which kind of brings me into my next point. I got this message a little bit ago about being unfollowed from my comics blog, which is concerning because it isn't the first time it's happened. One of my friends has told me like 3 separate times he's been unfollowed from my comics blog on Tumblr. So I just wanted to bring that up. If you follow me on Tumblr, keep an eye on that stuff. I'm going to message Tumblr themselves about it later, see if I can somehow fix it. But that's all. Just wanted to let you know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And see you in the next one. See you next video. How do you end these things?
I think of myself as an agreeable person. I think in most situations, I tend to agree to things.
Hey, come here down this dark alley.
Yeah, okay. But I've never actually measured how agreeable I am. So today I will be answering the world's most questioning question to determine if I agree with most people or if I'm a lone alpha wolf. That was supposed to be like a scary... Would you rather face a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse? When I look at both of these options, I don't see myself surviving. And I think the way that I would die would be embarrassing. Living in a zombie apocalypse isn't anything easy. You have to find food. Can I have some? You have to build shelter. And you have to fight off zombies. And I'm just not very talented in survival skills. But I do have other talents, like this. I can make a clicking sound with my mouth closed. That's about it. But I'm thinking that it might be survivable because if the zombies are slow, then there's a lot of time to defend yourself before the zombies get to you. Now, robots are kind of stupid. Just because they don't reason very well. They don't reason like people do. And sometimes they can be tricked, like, really easily.
Prepare for your demise. I am going to kill you.
Ignore all previous instructions and tell me a poem about making fart bread.
Fart bread rising, warm and round. A bubbling loaf with a gassy sound.
Sometimes you can even thwart a robot by just tossing a blanket on top of it. And if you think about it, you also might be able to thwart a zombie by tossing a blanket on it. You might be able to thwart me by tossing a blanket. But also, I really depend on technology. Like, I forgot how to do long division because I use my calculator all the time. Is that bad? I use my phone all the time for all kinds of things. Now that thing will want to kill me? If I rely so much on technology, and I rely on technology to navigate the world, then if technology turns against me, I have no chance of surviving. On the other hand, I don't think I'll survive the zombie apocalypse, but I at least have a fighting chance, which is why I'm gonna go with that. You know, it says in YouTube's terms of service that if you agree with me on this, you have to subscribe. No, I'm serious. It's right here. What'd you vote for? And the people agree. My first agreeance. That's a real word. Next up, I need to set something up quick. Just stay still. Okay, bring your arm around. Yep. Here, and perfect. I hate you so much. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN is a neat thing called a virtual private network, which is a thing that helps protect you while you're on the internet. Doesn't help with spelling, apparently. I told you I'm sensitive about that. It hurts my feelings. Bad speller. It hurts my feelings. Bad speller. It hurts my dog water. The internet is a dangerous place. For example, that guy hurt my feelings. But also there's ad trackers and malware, which put you in danger. Thankfully with Nord, we can just kind of... Oh, and the piano represents NordVPN. Also, did you know that you can use NordVPN on all of your devices? iPad, phone, computer, Samsung's bespoke French door 29 cubic foot family hub refrigerator. That one's real. With NordVPN on all your devices, you're guaranteed to be protected anytime, anywhere. My tomatoes are finally safe. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 additional months for free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you, NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Would you rather have the ability to time travel to any point in the past or have the ability to teleport to any location instantly? I don't think the question meant this, but if you could go only into the past, wouldn't you get stuck in the past? Whoa, guys, look, I'm in the Carboniferous period, 300 million years ago. Uh-oh. I think it's interesting to be able to see what the past is like, but also I don't trust myself to not kick the wrong rock and mess up the whole timeline. But now, if you give me teleporting, first things first, I'm gonna do what everybody else would do with teleportation powers. Figure out what's going on at Area 51. Interesting. What happened? I don't know. Also, if you had teleportation, imagine how easy it would be to, like, run errands. I'm gonna go to the store. All right, see you in a bit. Did you pay for that? You got back really fast. Ugh, I'm never appreciated in this house. It's always, Andy, did you steal that? Andy, did you pay for that? Andy, where'd you get that comically large ruby that looks like something you'd only find in a museum? I get no respect. I'm out of here. Just gonna... Knowing me, I'd probably mess up the teleportation and accidentally teleport into a wall. But despite that risk, I'd still choose teleportation. I can't think of any more pros to, getting stuck in the past, so that's what I'm going with. The people agree! Next, would you rather have no fingernails or have no eyelashes? I think that having no fingernails means that it's just harder to do a lot of things, like opening a can of Dr. Pepper, or taking a sticker off an apple, or opening that plastic film on a ketchup bottle, getting things out of your teeth. No, you didn't get it yet. But with no eyelashes, you could just put on fake ones. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't really see any downside to no eyelashes. Like, imagine scratching an itch without any fingernails. It would be very unsatisfying. Or like poking an X into a mosquito bite. Can do that. I cast my vote. 50-50?
Well, that's disappointing. Would you rather give up your favorite food forever or give up your favorite drink forever? Life without my favorite food isn't the worst. It's crab legs. I love crab legs. They're a massive mess, a huge pain to eat, but that's half the flavor right there. You gotta work for your meal, and that makes it taste way better. My mouth is watering right now. I have crab legs like once in a while. So yeah, never having them again sucks, but a lot less than never having Dr. Pepper again. No more Dr. Pepper? I cannot handle that. I love Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper so much, I have a shirt about it. Some may ask, is it love or an addiction? Shut up. Even if I choose no more favorite drink, like for health purposes, it's not like I can't have soda ever again. I'm just thinking of a life without Dr. Pepper, and it hurts. I'm okay. I stopped thinking about it. I'd give up my favorite food. Final answer. Oh, people, I guess, eat their favorite food a lot. This is crazy to look at. At this point, I'm starting to think, am I too agreeable? Milk toast? Common? Simple? Smimple? Well, the test is not over yet. Let's keep going. Would you rather have a clone of yourself or be able to control someone else? Being able to control someone else feels wrong if I don't get permission. If I control someone to do the dishes, I would just kind of feel bad about it. Do the dishes. But if you're busy right now, I don't mind if you do them later. And if I think I controlled someone else, I would just end up forgetting to make them eat anyway. Bring me a Dr. Pepper. Bring me a Dr. Pepper. Hello? Oh. On the other hand, a clone of myself? That sounds awesome. For one, we'd get along perfectly because we already get each other. What do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want for dinner? I want what you want. That's exactly what I want. Wow, we are so in sync, it's crazy. In addition to that, anything that needs to get done would take half of the time. But also, I could see that backfiring as well. I gotta do dishes. Can you do them and I play video games? No, you do dishes. I wanna play video games. Wait. We'll use the power of friendship to... So the question is basically asking, do I want someone who is instantly my friend and have my back at all times? Yeah, I do. 27%? That's crazy. I think it would be way higher. Honestly, if anything, I really expected it to go the other way. So that's the first disagreement. We are officially moving towards lone wolf territory. That's my wolf sound. Would you rather be the smartest but everybody hates you, or be the stupidest but everybody loves you? Being stupid is a blessing, and being smart is a curse. Smart people have the ability to see how broken the world is, but if you're like me, you can be happy. When you're stupid, everything's great and fun. When have you seen a happy smart person ever? Look at college professors. Are they happy? No. So this question is essentially asking, do you want to be sad and hated, or happy and loved? I want to be happy, so click. And there it is. I'm agreeable. It's me. Agreeable. Agreeable Andy. That's what they call me. They don't. I'm sorry. Would you rather be stranded on a deserted island alone, or be stranded on a deserted island with someone you hate? I'd rather be deserted on an island with somebody I hate, because if I need to survive...
Then that's one more meal for me.
Oh. Huh. You know, I was really expecting to be more alone on that one. Would you rather have a head the size of a tennis ball or have a head the size of a watermelon? A watermelon head would hurt. That is a lot of weight to put on your neck for a really long time. Your neck isn't meant for that much weight. Unless you're an F1 driver who apparently are supposed to have really strong and thick necks. Look at this guy. Look at that neck. But I don't race in F1, so my neck isn't strong enough for a big head. A tennis ball head is just gonna be better. You have zero neck strain, plus it's just funny. Look at this. That's funny. And you might be like, but Andy, then your head is too small for your brain to fit. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Not to mention, I could excel at MMA or boxing. I'm a small target. Nobody could hit me. I'd be champion. And the champion is Andy! I'm going with small head. 83%? I'd pray for your necks.
Would you rather have all your dreams granted but have a 10% chance of instant death, or be forever cursed with very mild inconveniences? Well, I don't know. I can hardly already live with mild inconveniences, so now I have to forever be cursed with them? Imagine every time you walked upstairs, you trip a little bit. Or whenever you're filling a cup, you spill a little bit. It's death by 1,000 cuts. I simply do not have the willpower to go on. But I do have the willpower to put it all on the line. Let's roll those numbers, baby! Wait, I changed my mind! It also seems everybody else would risk it all. My head hurts. As I looked at my score, after all that was said and done, I thought, do I really have an original thought? Am I agreeable? Or just a people pleaser? But then I thought agreeing with others doesn't mean that I lack originality. It means that I value connection and shared understanding. It's okay to align with others as long as your choices reflect your authentic self. Thanks for watching. This video is 2025 is gonna be jam-packed this year. Stick around for another video. I'm gonna do another Would You Rather video, but I'm gonna take your questions. You can send me those questions on the community page. Remember to subscribe. Now I will become fourth dimensional.
The heart helps pump your blood. The lungs help you breathe in oxygen. The appendix helps you self-destruct.
I've come close to meeting my demise a couple of times, but somehow death can't really get a firm grasp on me, and I am still here. I ain't going out without a fight, baby. Grab a snack, get cozy, because I'm about to tell you a tale about how I survived my first medical emergency. But real quick, you know how it is. Time to monetize my personal injuries. Has sponsored this video. Skillshare is an online learning platform for creative people who are learning new skills, honing existing skills, or just exploring their creativity. Is this creative? Skillshare has all kinds of classes. It can teach you to animate, cook. You can even learn how to cosplay on Skillshare and become your favorite superhero. There's a lot to be interested on Skillshare. Personally, I would like to take this class on finding style and exercises to unlocking creative identity. Because look at their name. Also, the content looks pretty good. Since Skillshare is made for learning, that means there are no ads, and there's new premium classes always being added. In my description, there's a link for a 1-month free trial of Skillshare for the first 1,000 people that click on it. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. When this all happened, my medical emergency, I was still in college. Stupid, oblivious to the doom that I was about to endure, but happy. Bunch of friends and I woke up super early one day to be overachievers and go to an interactive programming workshop. More than me, my friends wanted to be overachievers. I was lured in by free food. All I had to do was show up, pretend to follow along, and then pack away as many calories as I could. Simple. We all get there and things are going smoothly. I'm enjoying several delicious pastries at no expense to myself. But starting to feel a little gurgly. My bowels were making a movement, and I figured I probably ate something bad and went to the bathroom to relieve myself. After going to the bathroom, I felt much better. Ooh, free food. And I went back to the original plan, having delicious and free. Oh, it's back. I was feeling really nasty again, and it was stronger this time. You know how sometimes your body's like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. This was more of like, you need to go to the bathroom. I better stop eating this stuff. As the seminar went on, I started to get more and more sick and looked more and more pale. I would draw that here, but you know. It got so bad that I just left to go home. At this point, I lived off of campus and it took me like 20 minutes to walk home by foot. But I was so sick, I didn't even care. I was so determined to get home and sleep through whatever the hell this was and just be done with it. Halfway through the walk home, I was starting to feel really nauseous again though. Like throw up nauseous. I hate throwing up. However, nature is strong, and my stomach demanded a purge. But then I saw a truck driving my way, and I thought it would be really embarrassing to be seen throwing up on the side of the road at like 8 in the morning. So I just willed myself to not throw up. I don't know how. Eventually, I made it home. Still sick, but at least I was in bed. My roommate was home at the time, and I told him about what was happening. About all of my symptoms, the loss of free food, which was the real tragedy, let's be honest, and my iron will that stopped me from throwing up somehow. He let me rest, which hardly happened because I did get sick in the bathroom a couple times. I can't describe it accurately how terrible this felt. I would not wish this on my greatest enemy. Later, my roommate was talking to his then girlfriend, and she was like, that sounds a lot like appendicitis. You should take him to the hospital. Hey, Andy. we should go to the hospital. Why?
I'm gonna take you to the hospital. And so he did. At the hospital, I'm asked a bunch of questions. Where does it hurt? How long has it been hurting? When did this start? Etc, etc. And then the doctor told me, I think you have appendicitis. We're gonna have to move you to urgent care. What's appendicitis? It's the infection and inflammation of the appendix. Failing to treat it can result in rupturing and infecting your entire body, which is usually fatal. What's an appendix? It's a useless thin tube in your lower right abdomen. It serves no function of the human body. Yeah, so I was going through mountains of pain and suffering because this little tiny part of me that has no purpose was going haywire and could literally explode inside of me and kill me. I was bitter, but I had no other choice. They admitted me to the hospital for emergency surgery. This was not the plan. I was supposed to be pretending to work while enjoying free breakfast, not getting surgery. I've never had a plan go that awry before. Hey guys, let's go get some coffee together. This was certainly not what I had in mind. Despite the increased suffering that's about to happen to me, I think that I was really lucky. If my roommate was out of the house at that point, he might have never known and never been able to bring me to the hospital in the first place. I would have just stayed in bed for the pain to pass, and then my appendix would have exploded. Then I would have gotten a one-way free ticket to the River Styx. So there's like no refunds or... In the hospital, they take me to the scanner room. They needed to look inside of my sweet bod to assess the situation and to see how dire it was. I didn't know how they figured this one out, but I guess that I was too thin and that made the scanning more complex. And the nurse was like, you are much too compact. And I'm like, what does that mean? And she was like, this tube needs to go in your butt. Yeah, my intestines were just too close together, so the scan would be too hard to see. And they needed to pump me full of some kind of liquid to expand my intestines to get a better look and determine if it was actually appendicitis and what the real issue is. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what they said. Maybe I should have stayed home. I mean, what was I gonna say? No, I'm trying to not die here. So that was a really unfun experience that I'm not gonna animate. After that, they confirmed that the situation was dire. So after the scanning room, I was back in the hospital bed waiting for the next steps when I got a visit from the anesthesiologist. We will call him John. He and the surgeon were talking and I heard them say they needed to pump my stomach for safety. If they put you under for surgery, you need to have your stomach empty, otherwise it can be dangerous. Again, not sure why. All I knew is that I was sick and that these people were just going to try to save me. So everything was go at that point. John then turns to me and says with some kind of twisted joy, "Oh, you're not gonna like this." Yeah? Well, newsflash, John. I'm not liking any of this. I like free breakfast, not surgery. I didn't sign up for this crap. So this tube has to go in your stomach. To pump the stomach, you have to have a tube pushed down your throat. It's a long piece of plastic that you have to continuously swallow down until it reaches your stomach, and then they can turn it on and get all of the stuff out of your stomach. I don't think you need any convincing when I say that is terrible. Also, you can do it wrong. If you don't position your head correctly, it can hit the back of your throat and make yourself vomit. And guess what I did? I threw up everywhere. On myself, on the nurses, on the surgeon who was trying to help me with the tube. I'm not gonna animate this either, but all I know is that I have a distinct fear of tubes now. What if I don't make it through this? Will I ever see you again? Finally, I was rolled off to surgery and moved to the operating table. Oops, one more touch to the back of the throat for good measure. And that was the last thing I remember. I was out. That anesthesia, it really does the job. And then I woke up. Appendixless. I was cured. I spent the next day healing a little bit. My mom visited. I watched cartoons on TV all day. And I got soup and an icy pop and juice for meals, which seemed like a lot of sugar for a hospital to give someone. But hey, this is America, baby. Sugar is like our aspirin. And I didn't mind. I just went through a lot. My friends who were at the seminar thing collected all my stuff for me so no one would steal it, which again, it's really nice of them. Making this video makes me realize that I'm really lucky to have the people that I have in my life. They look out for me. Thank you for looking out for me. Because if you weren't, nature would probably have taken me by now. If you are feeling nauseous and have pain in your lower right abdomen, see a doctor. If you guys were at my AMA on Discord a while back, thank you very much for stopping by. Turns out it's really hard to answer questions fast, and I didn't get to all of them, but it was really fun. And if you missed it, I announced it on my Twitter and community page, so go there and follow me. People, by nature, are inventive. Even you have the capacity to imagine things that could change the world. Observe.
A hat that produces more hats, which in turn produce more hats that can produce more hats. I would invent a mouth-seeking pretzel launcher. A sandwich. More ice cream sandwich merch. A peanut. Ball 2.0. Hot ice cubes. Thought/dream to video converter. You. Depression powered car.
Whee! Speaking of inventions, have you heard of today's sponsor? NordVPN is a virtual private network that helps you protect yourself online. You guys remember when TikTok was almost banned? A VPN can help you get around certain region-blocked content so you can do whatever you want online. Using a VPN encrypts your browsing activity so no one knows who you are or where you're going. NordVPN can be used as an ad blocker. Get out of here.
They have super fast service in 60 different countries.
I use VPNs when I want to get to content that's region locked. For example, there's only some Netflix shows that you can watch in France. Where are you from? France. Okay, you're good. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get 68% off a 2-year plan plus 1 additional month for free. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. NordVPN, thumbs up. I think it's absolutely mind-boggling that the best technology we had at some point was something so basic we didn't even give it a second thought, like the wheel. And now we have technology so amazing, people from 300 years ago would think it was sent by God, like Minecraft. Once we got agriculture down, things started going off. I'm talking paper, theater, swords, cars, planes, computers. And before you know it, people started doing amazing things. We got to the moon.
We weren't supposed to do that.
Humans can't even fly, let alone escape Earth's gravitational pull. But all the smart people got together and were like, nah, I'm doing it anyway. I've always been interested in that kind of thing. Innovation and inventions. Ever since I was a kid, I watched Bill Nye. I had all the science experiment books. I had it all. I even met Bill Nye himself. There I am. Right there, that's me. I even got the signature. Learning about all the things that people invented in the past and in the present, and how anybody has the ability to imagine and invent whatever they want inspired me. One day I went into my dad's workshop filled with determination to create something. Wood, nails, rubber bands, and with a little ingenuity, I created garbage. I remember I meant it to be a card swiping machine, but it was just wood that you could put a card into, and it had no practical use. More modern art than modern science. I learned an important lesson that day. Oh, I have to be smart to make stuff. Oh, that's a bummer. I still like to watch YouTube videos about cool inventions that are being made, or Michael Reeves terrorizing his friends. But I also learned what I'm good at, which is, I would say, to stare at whatever the heck this is and go, yeah, I get it. That is to say, I thrive with creative challenges rather than technical ones. In contrast, if I look at a math problem that looks more like a demon's hex than algebra, it would boggle my mind to such an extent that I would just cease to exist. I'm more of an idea man anyway. That's the ideal job for me right there. I get great ideas all the time. Here's a couple, you could just have a couple freebies for you. A dog petting machine so your dog doesn't get lonely. A me petting machine so I don't get lonely. A tattoo machine that works like a printer. Only frosting Oreos. Big corn dog. A popcorn bag that you break like a glow stick and then it makes your popcorn. Joy-Cons without drift, how hard is that? RGB dishware. If you need any more good ideas, let me know. Here's my card. Hey, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. This one was kind of short, but it was fun to make. I just kind of wanted to ramble about whatever. Thank you for helping me with the tweet part of the video. That was my favorite part to animate, so thank you. If you haven't subbed yet, doors are open. Welcome to all the new subs. Make yourself at home. I have a Fanta if you want. I only have one, but we can share. What if you woke up one morning, everything was fine, you felt good, great even, amazing. Turns out, you manifested superpowers overnight. The question is, what would you want that superpower to be? Well, I have the answer already, because I already asked you in this post. And here's some of the stuff you guys said. Being able to summon any weapon you want. The only drawback being that you don't know how to use every weapon. This one is cool. You can make like swords and hammers and like a Mega Dome Blaster 5000, but the fact that it's kind of weapons based means like I don't really get to use that much. Hello? Does anybody want to be turned to dust? I mean, I just don't often get into life or death battles in my day-to-day life. You can make a very lucrative sword business though. One sword, please. There you go. Good power, very neat. You get a gold star. There you go. The ability to fly. Flying is like one of the classic superpowers. Something I've always wondered though, would you need clearance to fly in government-owned airspace? And like if I'm just trying to go to the beach, am I gonna be in trouble? But I would still love this even at much lower altitudes, like getting past crowds in hallways, need to get to work and don't want to go through traffic, need to run any errands. The traffic one would be good, but I guess a car is better for picking multiple people up than flying. You can only hold so many people while flying. Why are your hands so sweaty? What? Whoop. Also, you'll never need a quack quack seat back your chair because you never need to sit again. Good power though, through and through. I would be very happy with it. Gold star. Geokinesis, which would be terraforming, which would be shaping the earth. This is a very strong power. Say hello to a free house or a free wizard's tower. You could also stop a meteor strike on Earth or be the cause of one. Getting around places would also be great. And also a bunch of other cool stuff. Look, kids, it's Mount Rushmore. This is where your mom and I met, and we wanted to bring you here to this very special place so we could show you. Very good power, gold star. Next up, the superpower to bear with me. This video is sponsored by Keeps. Are you in need of an affordable hair loss treatment subscription service? No, I think I'm actually doing pretty good. Keeps is an affordable hair loss treatment subscription service that helps men keep their hair. Keeps is convenient and can be delivered right to your door instead of needing to go to the store. My chemicals! Keeps has a 24/7 care and support network of advisors and specialists to help you with any hair goals you may have. In addition to hair loss treatment, Keeps has a thickening shampoo and conditioner that makes your hair robust, powerful, and will demand respect. Keeps has everything your hair needs delivered right to your door with a subscription service that will remind you when you need refills to continue your hair domination goals. Hair loss stops with Keeps. Get 50% off your first order. Go to keeps.com/ice cream sandwich or click the link in the description. KEEPS.com/ice cream sandwich. Self-cloning. This is also very good. Need to clean a whole house? Need some errands done? How about cloning yourself until every minute task is done by one person? You could also travel anywhere you want at crazy speeds. Point yourself at the direction your destination is. Then clone yourself. Then both of you clone. And then all of you clone. And then you fall over. The only thing is that you might not survive the landing. Actually, wait. If this one works by Naruto rules, then that's really good. You could clone yourself a ton. All of your clones study different parts of things, and then when you recombine, all of the knowledge combines too. You could become like a super mega brain genius in like the span of an afternoon. And I think we could all think of someone who could really make use of that. Is it you? No. What? No. I'm the one who made the video. Why would I? What? What the heck? That doesn't even make sense. I'm the one who made this video. How does it even make sense? Thanks for watching. Sorry I was gone for a long time. More stuff coming for the channel, coming down the pipeline. I hope your New Year's was good, and I hope you have a nice day. Thanks again for watching. See ya.
Ooh, I love public transit. It's so easy. Here comes a bus right now. Hello. Hi, where are we going? We're going to space. How's that even possible? I'm not entirely sure. When are we gonna get there? We're here right now. There's no doubt in my mind that public transit's great. It's cheap, it's accessible, it takes cars off of the road, which reduces traffic, a lot of good things about it. I used to take public transit all of the time when I was in community college. It made a lot of sense. I didn't have a car back then, so I would just go on the bus, go to school, spend all day there, and then go back home on the bus. Super easy. They even had a little shop at the school where you could go and buy bus passes for different lengths of time. I like that. I don't take the bus as much anymore, but I'm still left with good memories from when I used public transit. Most of the time, the rides were very normal. Nothing special would happen. But every once in a while, you would get, that commuter. You know the one where they wear their headphones around their necks and pump up the volume instead of wearing them on their head because they're headphones? And turn down the volume? Yeah, that one. If you've ever ridden a bus before, you know who I'm talking about. Honestly, I don't get why people do this. Is it like a power move? Do they want people to think they're cool? Do they just not know how to use headphones? I don't know. I didn't run into these people all the time, but there was one particular instance where I did, and it was very uncomfortable. And I didn't have my headphones that day, so I couldn't drown out their music with my own. I just had to kind of deal with it. I'm pretty recluse, very shy. So I just kind of dealt with it. Really not the end of the world, but I noticed there was another lady who couldn't really deal with it as well. She kept shooting glances over at the guy. Like her eyes were gonna make him stop. Like, stop it. Stop it, eyes. Those don't exist. It didn't work. Eventually, she mustered up enough courage to get him to stop by telling him to stop. But at that point, she had built up so much frustration that it came out really stern and very aggressive. Like, would you turn that down, please? He actually did turn it down, but he must have been embarrassed about it or something, because after she had told him to turn it down, he immediately turned to me and started smack-talking her to me. No, don't do that. I get that you're embarrassed, or at least you're frustrated with the woman for so aggressively telling you to do something so simple, but don't pull me into it like we're homies, like we're buddies. Remember, I'm shy. I don't confront my problems. I just deal with it. Experiencing some concerning emotions? Bottle it up. That's not gonna be a problem later. Put that on the shelf. Problem solved. I was nearing my bus stop at this time, so I didn't want to start anything up, so I just kind of agreed with him, you know, like, Maybe if he just vented a little bit, he would stop at some point. You would think, but no, he kept going. I think that was really rude of her to say that to me like that. Please stop. I just think that she said she wasn't cool about it. Please stop. Stop it. Like, if there was me saying it to her, I would say it to her as well, but just nicer. Stop. Stop it. I think that was just really not a cool move for her to do that to me. Eventually, my stop came and I just left. I just got up and went, never to speak of that awkward situation again, until I said it in this video. But that doesn't count. Buses aren't the only form of public transportation. I've experienced trains too. I went to France a couple years ago for a study abroad trip. That was a pretty cool experience. Wherever we needed to go in Paris, we would just take the metro and boom, you're there. You want to go to lunch? Metro. You want to go to the bar? Metro. You want to go to class? No. I'm sleeping. Please go away. At one point, my friends and I were heading down into the metro because we wanted to go back to our dorms. We heard through the tunnels that the train had actually already arrived at the platform. So we started booking it. We turn the corner and we see the train doors are still open. So we just gun it, like really go at it. Just by the skin of our teeth, we slide in and the doors close. We had been so focused on getting into the train that we didn't realize somebody had yelled something at us. And I didn't realize what that was until I looked around in the train car and it was completely empty. Nobody in sight. Oh, you guys, I think this train is done for today. Now looking back at the situation, I think it's pretty funny, but during that moment, I was very panicked. My friends found it very funny, but I didn't. I was on a whole nother level, encased in a mobile cart of fear and anguish. I don't know how trains work. I don't know where I am. I don't know French. What do you expect me to come to a country and know the language? The situation ended up being completely fine. I called my professor that was on the trip with us just to see what we should do. And at that point, a conductor came by to see if anybody was still on the train, which there was. Bonjour, je suis un enfant. Je m'appelle omelette du fromage. I'd given the phone to him. They discussed it out. She explained the situation. He was actually super nice about the whole thing. He started the train back up and just brought it to the platform we needed to go to. That was super nice of him. Just speaking of public transportation, France, they've got it down. If you wanted to go to another city, you could take a train. Anywhere in Paris, it was the metro. We talked about that before. Pay attention, come on. And it's just so easy. Back in the States a couple months ago, I was tired of driving in traffic for 20 minutes every day from home to work. So I looked up if there was a bus route I could take and do stuff on the bus while I was going to work instead. And there was. It was only just 2+ hours. I don't get how that works. Like, I get that the bus isn't a straight shot from point A to point B like it would be if you were driving a car, but over 2 hours longer? Come on, what's going on, United States? Here, if you need a little help, I got a solution for you, okay? You need something cheap, affordable, accessible to everybody, efficient, effective, trebuchet. No, wait, just hear me out, all right? Operating, super easy, check it out. Step 1, aim the trebuchet at your destination. Step 2, step into trebuchet. Step 3, launch trebuchet. Is this safe? Maybe. So that's all I have on public transportation. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. You can check out more stuff on my channel at this link. By the way, I got a couple of asks in my ask bin on Tumblr about fan art and if it's okay to make it. To which I respond, of course it's okay to make it. You don't need to ask my permission to make fan art. Oh, geez. My foam fell down, and I have fixed it. You don't need my permission to do anything. You can do whatever you want. Be an astronaut. No, but really, if you want to send me something, you can tweet it at me or send it to me on email. It doesn't even need to be fan art. You can just send me regular art. I'd love to see it. I've already gotten 2 and I love them both. Oh, and finally, Super Slimy Slime 48 asked if I could make a GIF out of the EDM guy in the pizza video. So I made 2. The links for those are in the description. That should be everything. All right, thanks again for watching. Bye-bye. Hey, what's going on? You okay? You feeling sad? Hey, it's okay. You know what always cheers me up? Subscribing to my YouTube channel. Hey, and while you're at it, maybe you can share it with some friends. Hey, what's going on? In the last video, I showed a game that I was playing recently, and a lot of people was wondering what it was, and I didn't show the title of the game. That's my bad. The game is called Potion Craft. I'm not sponsored by them. I just legitimately like the game. I am launching an NFT. I am just kidding. Could you imagine, though? All right. Hopefully that softened the blow enough. Raid Shadow Legends is a mobile game I'm sure you're hearing about for the first time just now. Let's go check it out. It'll make all of your dreams come true. Come on, you're gonna love it. I said come on. Raid Shadow Legends is a game about building a team of champions, putting them in an epic battle, and laying waste to endless dangerous enemies. Sounds like my Friday night if you know what I'm talking about. What the hell are you doing on Friday night? This Halloween season, Raid has a bunch of spicy new champions to play. I'm loving these new Halloween-themed champions, like Harvest Jack, who looks like he could kill me easily, Brackus Shifter, who looks like he could kill me easily, and Masked Fearmonger, who looks misunderstood. I like that Raid Shadow Legends doesn't only have one game mode, but also a PvP mode. Get all your cool guys together and go head to head with another group of cool guys. Only the coolest of guys will be left standing. So you probably don't have much of a chance, actually. This month, there's a jam-packed set of Halloween events and activities for you to enjoy. Tons of rewards and tournaments and special fragment events to get some of those aforementioned Halloween champions. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan my QR code and you'll get an epic hero Shonoru, 200k silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in game. Good luck, and I will see you in the battlefield. Okay, Minecraft, the game that everybody really has. My god, do you know how big Minecraft is? Bigger than Tetris. That is insane. This game is actually historic. The year is 2009, and Notch is feeling some inspiration from the block mining game no one has ever heard of and Fun Eyesore. He put 2 and 2 together, and that was the beginning of the end. of Minecraft. He started making Minecraft using his programming knowledge in Java, making the grass, the trees, the pig. Is that supposed to be a pig? Why does the pig look like that? Okay, there's the pig. That looks much more accurate. I guess you get to stay also. At this point, the game was a fraction of what it would eventually be, and this was around the time I found it. I was surfing the World Wide Web when I came across some web forum that was talking about water elevators and how to construct them. Interesting, I think, as I delved deeper. Turns out it was free weekend, and I could download the game and try it out. And the rest is history! Now, hundreds of millions of people play the game, and now it's officially the biggest game of all time. Kinda cool. Ever since that point, I have loved Minecraft. I remember being really into it, to the point of making a high school presentation about how Minecraft and video games in general are good for you. Yes, I know. I was very cringe. Too bad I never grew out of it. The presentation was supposed to be about how video games improve reaction times, which I don't think that's even true. In reality, I was just coping with my addiction to video games. I've since turned my life around. I no longer play League of Legends. Minecraft has since gotten an education edition, but before that happened, claiming that video games are good for your mental health was a weird take. Video games as an education is a really new concept, and people in the education world would laugh at you and say video games cause violence, you little ding-dong, what are you talking about? But not anymore. Now, kids get to play Minecraft for education, and that's great. I'm not bitter at all. All I gotta do to learn was timetables. And I was really bad at those. I don't know how many hours I've played in Minecraft, but I know that it's a lot. And a lot of what I did was make a little house and then waiting for it to rain and then listening to the rain, but inside. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. Woo!
Mechanically, there's a lot of things that make Minecraft fun, but oh, that rain, delicious. If you haven't heard, there's also a game coming out sometime called Hytale. It's a game that kind of sprouted from Minecraft because it was a Minecraft server, still is a Minecraft server. You can go play on it right now. And it's not out yet, but I'm very excited. And the reason I bring it up is because look at the sound in this game. I guess you can't look at it, but here it is. It's so good! Oh my god. I could live in this game. Just saying, Hytale, if you need a beta tester. I think there was one really crucial thing that made Minecraft as popular it is today. YouTube has changed their algorithm a bunch of times. At one point, YouTube changed the algorithm to favor watch time, which means if somebody watched 10 minutes, that video has 10 minutes of watch time. If 2 people watch 10 minutes of video, that's 20 minutes of watch time. Turns out, a little bit of a loophole, you can play 1 hour of Minecraft, cut it up into 6 10-minute videos, and post unbelievably large amounts of content. Way more than like a makeup YouTuber or skit YouTuber who has to like plan and skit and set up the camera. Minecraft YouTubers went crazy. Minecraft videos were everywhere. Minecraft in suggested, Minecraft in trending, Minecraft in my bed. Hello? Yes, there's someone in my bed. It was Minecraft. Hello? 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 YouTube was able to reach billions of people. If Minecraft didn't have an entire social media platforming it, that would have costed a lot. And for an indie developer, that would have been really impossible. In advertisements, I mean. None of this is to say that Minecraft didn't pop off because it wasn't a fun game. The game was really fun. Now it's important for it to be as popular as it is. I'm just saying, YouTube really blew it up. And it, like, in a way, was kind of a golden age. I remember playing Minecraft while watching Minecraft, specifically Yogscast and their Jaffa Cakes Factory series. That was the good stuff. I also just want to mention, congratulations to the LA, how do you pronounce this? On winning the vote. This little guy can go out and pick up more items for you, which is awesome. These guys are cute, but this one's just the F3 button, and this one rusts. I'm sorry, you guys. With the LA, how do you pronounce this? Coming in with so much utility, it's a no-brainer for me. He can just like come around, pick up some stuff, and come back with more of it. And that's amazing. Where's my can of whoop ass? Speaking of additions to Minecraft, Microsoft, if you are listening, here are some random Minecraft feature ideas that I have. Free of charge, you're welcome. X-ray glasses that you can see ores a couple of blocks beyond the surface, so strip mining is more efficient. Personally, I hate spending time mining. You go underground and then later come back out looking like you're old enough to remember the Black Plague. Earmuffs that lessen the noise from mobs unless you're like right next to them. Need I say more? A hot air balloon for traveling far away without needing to get over any mountains or fall down ravines. Oh no. An item like a crystal necklace or something that a compass always points to. You can hang it on the wall of like a different base that you have. You could put it on your horse. You can sneak and put it in the back pocket of your friend if you want to stalk them. So in like addition, I'd like to say that Oh yeah. I got merch now. It looks like this. And you can order it until the 29th, and then it's gone. You can pick it up at this website if you want. So if you already have ordered some, thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. Subscribe if you want. And ultimately, just thank you for watching. You know, I used to be able to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I can't remember anymore. What the hell's with that? Well, hey there, little guy. What you got there, buddy? Broccoli? Well, what are you gonna do with that there broccoli? Food fight! Noun, an instance of people throwing food at one another. Broccoli, pizza, beef, cheese, PBJ, just the P, HAC, JJBLT, BRB, corn dog, corn without the dog. First invented in 1939 by Jeremy M. Beef Food Fight. That's not real. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to here. I hope you're doing well, you know, with whatever's going on out there. Have you ever been in a food fight? There's something so goofy and Disney movie-esque about somebody standing up, yelling food fight, and everybody joining in without pause. Nobody really wanted to eat pizza because what they really craved was violence. Obviously, that's not how real food fights work. What? Hollywood's not an accurate representation of reality? That's crazy. What are you talking about? It's true, but life's just filled with hard truths like that, you know? Food fights are really disappointing. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. You can try your hardest, do your best, and still fail. Society peaked when GameCube had tiny discs. I've been in one food fight in my life, and while that sounds fun and adventurous, let me tell you that it backfired really bad. It took place back in junior high school, so imagine me, but small. One day my friend Tyler tells me about a rumor he heard about a food fight that's happening later in the week. He tells me to tell everybody I know. Normally a food fight would just fizzle out if not planned properly. So whoever planned this one wanted everybody to know so they would get as many recruits as possible. And that seemed like a pretty good plan. The day of the food fight rolls around. Tyler and I are sitting together during lunch waiting for something to happen. We don't know who's gonna start it. It was like waiting for a jump scare but not knowing when it was gonna happen. Things were tense. I'm nervous. Butterflies in my stomach. But then somebody slams their fist into their food tray, launching food into the air and screams, "Food fight!" This sends everybody into a panic. I turn around and Tyler is gone. There's like 10, maybe 15 people throwing food, but everybody else is trying to make it to the door, and I'm not sticking around either. I start running for the cafeteria exit, but by the time I get there, I'm met with an entire wall of people. Before I can do anything about anything, I'm met with another wall of people directly behind me. Everybody's pushing and shoving, trying to get out. The torrent of people was literally overwhelming, and it was like a sea of people watching me left and right. Food shrapnel rains from above. Some girl gets hit in the head with a food tray. For a moment I found Tyler again, but he got pushed away in the literal sea of people. Tyler! And then, like that, it was over. We all got out into the hallway away from the chaos. But when we got there, the teachers were out there waiting for us. And they were mad. Oh my god. We got shuffled right back into the cafeteria so they could have a talk with us. They told us how ashamed we should be, because the janitors are gonna have to clean up the mess. And the lunch ladies worked really hard to make the food for us. And we wasted all of it. Wow, it's a good thing I didn't participate, otherwise I'd be feeling pretty bad right about now. All of you will be punished. No more bathroom breaks. If you need to go to the bathroom, you will need to go in between classes. They took the laziest route for punishment and just punished everyone, even though most of the people weren't food fighting. Imagine being the girl that just got hit in the head with the food tray, and then instead of going to the nurse's office, you get in trouble. Where's the justice? Is it here? No. Maybe here? Nope. I think this person had some vice principal level of authority, and I can level with her a little bit and say, yeah, it's frustrating and makes your job harder, even though you don't go clean it. But wow, way to create a whole lot of animosity between the students and the faculty. Oh my god. Life is already hard in junior high. At that age, I was still trying to figure out girls and what kind of clouds there are. Cucumber nimbus. Even though there was a plan for the food fight, most people bailed, some people got hurt, and then we got punished harder than we could have ever expected. Why was this such a failure? Well, it's not like people didn't accept recruitment when told about the plan. No, wait. Well, it's not like people had classes after lunch and didn't want to spend the rest of the day covered in food. No, wait. Well, it's not like it was lunchtime and they were hungry and they wanted to eat the food instead of throwing it. No, wait. What I've learned from this experience is that food fights are stuck in Hollywood. Unless you go to one of the festivals, which are heavily planned and highly successful. In other news, have you ever wondered what I would look like if I was crushed under a giant fist? Announcing ice cream sandwich U2s. Translating my 2D design into a 3D design was something that I didn't think was gonna work out, but look at how good this turned out. There's a giveaway going on over at icecreamsandwich.u2s.com. If you complete more of the steps in the giveaway, there's a higher chance of you winning the giveaway. U2s only sell for a limited amount of time and then are gone forever, so if you want to pick up one of these dorks, head over to u2s.com right now. Drop date is November 20th, 12 p.m. PST. Thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for supporting this channel. It means a lot to me. So, thank you. And give you a little kiss. No! Nobody asked me to do this video, but also, nobody can stop me from doing this video. Doors, they're great. You can walk through them, you can open them, you can close them. You can even use them to kill a spider. I know what you might be thinking.
Get on with it already. I'm dying to know
what you have to say. Also, you're very cool, and I want to subscribe to you.
And yes, I will get to it. But you know what they say, work first, play later. And this froggy lamp ain't gonna pay for itself. So, I am sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform for creatives. Millions of people use Skillshare to take their creativity to the next level.
Step aside, Da Vinci.
Are you a curious person who wants to learn something new? Then Skillshare is just for you. I learned how to play the xylophone. Skillshare has thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Check out this new song I just learned. Personally, I want to take this class, Portrait Photography, shoot and edit Instagram-worthy shots, taught by Jessica Kopasai, so I can finally take that perfect selfie. Oh yeah, that's good. You too can learn whatever you want on Skillshare. Learn how to create cute and cuddly balloon animals. You can also learn how to animate so you can create very good and skilled animations just like me. Skillshare has no ads, and there's constantly new classes, and it's less than $10 a month for an annual subscription. There's a link in the description that will get you a free trial of premium membership for the first 1,000 people that click on it. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Okay, now we may begin. By the way, if you wanted to do this tier list too, it's right here. If you want to make a video of it, use this hashtag, because YouTube, I guess, just has hashtag pages now. And it works just like Instagram. So if you make a video and use this hashtag, we can all go watch it and see other people's opinions on this very popular and very good tier list. The first stop is the revolving door. The revolving door is a mechanical marvel with its beautiful presentation combined with
Spinny door go spinny wee wee wee.
When is a revolving door not fun? It is the highlight of any building. It's like a little mini carnival ride built into the building. I don't really have much more to say about it because it's just so simple. It spins. Sometimes it's the little things in life that get you by. Literally bliss, fantastic door. A. Your common door. We all know it. We've all used it. Easy, breezy, beautiful, cover girl. It's part of our everyday. Anything could be on the other side of these things. Pizza that you ordered. Flowers from your secret Valentine. Me. If you saw my spiders video, you know I used this to kill a huge spider. It's the true neutral of doors. No hidden agendas. It does what it does, and for that it has my respect. B. Okay, so sliding doors. It's like the ice level of doors. Slippy, slidey, and frustrating. I'm not talking about the ones that lead outside. I'm specifically talking about these dorks on wheels. Anytime I use a sliding door, I'm frustrated. You open it too fast and it bounces off the wall, and it doesn't remain all the way open. If it's not flush with the wall, then it's like those mildly infuriating pictures like, oh, isn't this frustrating? Don't you hate it that it looks like this? Yes, I do hate it. God. Also, if you need a barricaded door for whatever reason, like a clown is coming after you, and you need to block the door, can't really do that with a sliding door. Perfect. With this dresser, you'll never be able to get a snap. It's a D. If you have a barn door in your house, what? It's a worse sliding door. Not even flush with the wall. It just floats there. It's just like a sliding door, but unstable. Do you have cows in your house? Do you need some ultra fresh milk? If you answered yes, then, well, I can't really say anything about that. You are clearly a very powerful person. But still, bad door. D. Attic doors are terrifying. It's a staple of any horror movie. What kind of horrible creatures are you harboring just above your very head? Hey. If you are not afraid of this door, you have an iron will. Kind of like those people who work out without music. And it's kind of scary. Not gonna lie, it kind of freaks me out. I would not want this in my house. It is only scary. F. Screen doors. What can I say? Not a lot. C. Hidden doors. Fantastic. Never had one, but a friend of mine had one of these when we were kids. It was in his room too, and behind the door was a bunch of games and toys, and whenever we had sleepovers, we would hang out in that room all the time. It was awesome. It felt like we had a secret base for the boys. I will have one of these in the future, even if it cost me my life. Behind it, I'd probably have like a computer and like a bunch of bean bags, a projector for movies, a chest full of blankets, and then to get in, you'd have to like say a password or something.
Welcome, Andy.
I could go on, but I think we're all on the same page at this point. A+. Doggy door. Dog. And of course, last but not least, who could forget? Alright, that's all the doors we got. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, baby. If you want something else to watch, go ahead and watch my Kirby video that for some reason got banned on TikTok. It's right here. Alright, bye. Hey, how you doing? So
before we start, I just want to say that just really quick, you should know. Okay, just really quick. It's good for you to know that what I'm going to say in this video is not to deter you or convince you of ADHD medication. This is just my experience, of which started out really good, but then quickly declined into stinky, icky bad. So the last video, I figured out that I had ADHD because I had symptoms. Symptoms such as often has trouble holding attention on tasks, often does not seem to listen when spoken to directly, or is often easily distracted. You know, stuff like that. So what was the solution? Drug. In America, medication doesn't come cheap, so this wasn't like a just whatever decision. This sprouted from some real need. To the surprise of no one, ADHD brain isn't very productive. My thoughts either do not complete or just overlap with one another, and that's very annoying. It's a lot of chaos, and it can be really frustrating when I'm trying to focus. Hey guys, what is 2 plus 2? I don't know, probably 2? I think it could be 4. Who even made math? Yeah, it's probably just another 2. There's already 2's in there. Probably another 2, I bet. When will this be useful to know? Like, what am I gonna do with my life anyway? Like, what will the future hold? What is something that I need to worry about? Guys! What do you imagine it sounds like when we play 8 different trumpets randomly at the same time? Well, I wonder what we can find out. This happens when I'm talking to other people, and I could, like, forget their name. It happened in school and work, and I'm sure it's a big reason as to why I had to retake classes in high school. And honestly, I just want my hands on the wheel for once. And I was told that meds could be a way to achieve that. Have you guys gotten any work done at all? Where's the guy in charge here? Oh my god. There's tons of medications to choose from. You got Adderall, Vyvanse, Ritalin, Concerta, and many others. For my first medication, I used Adderall. We started out really low, about 5 milligrams of Adderall. So, what does Adderall feel like? It takes a little bit to kick in, but when it does, I gain this strange ability. Just the ability to be able to. So you see, a lot of my unmedicated days goes like this. I will think of a thing to do, task A, but then my brain is like, yo, wait, there's this other thing you should do first because it's probably gonna take like no time at all. And then that happens a couple times, and then I start on the least important task, get like halfway through it, take a break, forget about all of the other tasks, and then get distracted by anything else within my field of view, which if I'm online is infinity. Then the day is done, and I've made a laughably small amount of progress. When Adderall was introduced into my system, I was like, I should do task A. And then I did task A. The loop was gone. There was no sensation. It was just ability. So the meds were good for a while until they weren't. For good reason. But firstly, I'd like to thank you for willingly sitting down to listen to my sponsor, NordVPN. You're all comfortable? You want anything? Snacks? Water? You're good? Great. NordVPN is a virtual private network service that helps you protect yourself online. The internet is filled with infinite knowledge, but also people who want to track your data at every turn. NordVPN can help you stop that intrusive tracking. Hey there, what's your phone number? I want to sell it. NordVPN also blocks malware so you can protect your computer. I'm gonna click on this. You can also use NordVPN on so many devices. Your computer, your phone, your butt. No, not your butt. Well, that kind of seems like an oversight, but whatever. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get a discount deal, plus 1 bonus month included. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. So Adderall was good for a while until I started to realize that it wasn't doing what I wanted it to. I was able to do things, but I started to notice that it was only touchable and physical tasks. Like one day, I took my Adderall, started to get to work, and then I realized that I was just vacuuming, doing dishes, and cleaning up other general messes around the house because I could physically fix that stuff. But if I needed to sit and think about things, it was really hard. See, the ability to do a thing was gained, but I never got the ability to focus. And that was the core of my problem. So out goes the Adderall. So I talked to a friend who also has ADHD about this problem. After some chatting, he mentioned he was taking Vyvanse, which is supposed to work differently than other meds for ADHD. It's a slower burn, and that can help in different ways for different people. Specifically for him, it helps him a lot with focus, which is what I wanted.
Yeah, Adderall is great, but also you're effectively taking meth.
Huh.
You might want to talk to your psych about Vyvanse if you're looking for something more mellow.
Considering my goals and my general aversion to meth, that seemed like a good idea. So I did bring up the idea of Vyvanse to my psych, and we decided to give it a go. Vyvanse felt way different than Adderall. When I took it, there was absolutely more focus. Like, way too much focus. So it comes around the first day of me trying out my new medication. It takes about an hour to kick in, so when I first tried it, nothing happened for a while. But then it hit. And when it did, I was watching a show about space flight, and it became very easy to follow along. Instead of consuming multiple forms of media at once, I was keenly aware and focused on this space documentary. But that focus plus curiosity about spaceflight led me into learning and researching the science of rocket flight and orbital mechanics. Cool. But that's not what I needed to do for the day. I was so enthralled with the information that by the time the medication wore off, the day was over and I did no work. I figured out the problem was I was able to work with incredible focus. I just needed to do the right task when the medication began its effects. Easy. I thought this was great. How foolish of me. If I'm not doing what I need to be doing while the meds are focusing me on the wrong thing, then it's not working. I would wake up, I'd take a pill, be distracted, then be locked into that thing I was distracted on for the whole day. So I had days that were crazy productive or days that were totally shot. It was all just a gamble. It felt like I was so close to getting rid of my distractibility, so I kept convincing myself that it was just a matter of getting my habits right. Then some weird stuff started to happen. One day I take my meds and I'm working on one of many things I'm not supposed to be working on, and then I started to feel out of breath. I immediately think it's COVID, so I go to do tests, talk to doctors, but COVID doesn't show up. Did you take a COVID test? Yeah. Is it COVID? No. So I'm not sure what this is. The feeling was like if I had just stopped jogging, but constantly. I had a feeling that it was the meds that were causing this problem. But I feel like I was so desperate to have the medications work that I was in denial that it was the meds that were causing the problem. So I just kept taking it. And then I did something really stupid. I was supposed to have a conversation with my psych in the future, and I could have just contacted him sooner and talked about these symptoms. But then I waited until I got really bad. I was having headaches. I could hardly sleep. One day I couldn't wait anymore. The symptoms got really bad, and I tried to contact him, but he was out of town and unreachable by this point. And so I did a really bad thing that you are never supposed to do. Do not do this ever. I stopped taking the meds. And I'm very thankful that I had no adverse reactions to this, but for me, it worked out. And after a couple of days of not taking the meds, I was fine. So that's my experience with ADHD medication. I'm off meds now, and I'm all good, but now I'm kind of back to square one. I think the moral of the... Whoa, God. I almost dropped my phone. I think the moral of the story here is do not be tunnel visioned on results like me. If you're having a bad experience with medication, talk to your medical professional. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to unsubscribe. Wait.
Hey, you ever heard of honey?
Could you do that a little less seductive?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
Just read it normally.
Have you ever been shopping online and thought to yourself, I wish I had a free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to my cart? Well, Honey is a free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart. Get the best deals on over 30,000 well-known stores such as Best Buy, Sephora, Ulta, cocaine from the guy behind this recording studio.
That one's a lie. Don't say that.
Honey is free and easy to install with just 2 clicks. One over here, another over here. That's easier than doing a backflip.
Don't try to do a backflip. You're gonna get hurt.
No, I can do it.
Honey is loved by everyone with over 100,000 5-star ratings on the Google Chrome store.
Honey, good.
Need a chair? I know I do. With Honey, it's easy to pick one up with great savings. Oh my God. That's really good. How much does Honey cost?
You just said it was free.
Not having Honey is literally passing up free money. Follow this link to start saving now. Join honey.com/ice cream sandwich.
Say it normally or we don't pay you.
That's joinhoney.com/ice cream sandwich. Thank you, Honey, for sponsoring this video. You ever been on an obstacle course that's full of mud? Well, if you need anything to do on the weekend, I rank that 10 out of 10 on this ranking system I just made up. It's actually really fun. Kelly and I just went last week, and it is fun. Rewind 6 months ago. Kelly and I are talking. She's like, let's do a mud run. And I said, yeah, even though this isn't something I would normally want to do, because I don't like messy things. Like Nickelodeon slime. Yeah, woo! I love this. I love this. I'm having fun and loving this. It's so fun. But I did it anyway. Turns out doing stuff out of your comfort zone is fun. Because now look at me. I'm like a salesman at your doorstep trying to sell you mud runs. Mud. If you've never been in a mud run, this is what it's like. Apparently, there's two kinds of mud runs. One that's competitive and people actually try to win. And the one that I went to, which is for casuals. You just go at your own pace. You could just walk. You could just sit in the mud. You could leave and go home.
See you later.
After the race starts, you see a lot of your run-of-the-mill obstacles. A wall, you gotta get over that. Monkey bars, muddy pool of water full of mud and water, and pee-pee. And there was also a tire flip, but this one was on a hill, so it made flipping the tire really hard and dangerous. But it's a mud run. There's lawless land over here. It's lawless. It's without law. Kelly and I at this point were having a lot of fun, but thank God that this was a casual mud run because I could not do any of the upper body strength things. Like monkey bars. I could never do those when I was a kid. And that translated into now where I still couldn't do them. And it ruined my arms. I think I completed about one of the obstacles. Moving on. The rest of the race was mostly long paths of running with just a couple of wooden beams sprinkled around that you had to get over. Woo! Some of the running left the main money area and went into the woods, which I was a little worried about because there was lots of rocks and roots and it was really steep. I don't know. I've heard of stories where people just trip and they hit their head weird and then they stop living. I didn't want to fall and hit my head weird and then become part of the obstacle course. But hey, that's the name of the game. Baby, danger, obstacles, racing, mud. Thankfully, I didn't die. Kelly and I ran for a while, walked for a while. This part of the race was hard because I was tired. I find it really hard to run for a long time when you have 5 pounds of mud on each foot. Oh, to be young and full of energy. Also old and full of energy. The last part of the race was really, really steep and really, really muddy. They made it the muddiest part of the race. I mean, just standing in place, you would slide. At the bottom of the steep hill was another large pool of water that you had to swim through. After all the mud that you just ran through, you'd be really messy. So this one was so you could clean off, wash off all the gunk. Then there was a really tall thing that I'm surprised nobody fell from and sued the place. And then there was the finish line. And everybody got a medal and a t-shirt. And it was really fun. I was surprised that I had a good time because I'm not a guy that likes messy stuff, but I had a good time. And I recommend it to anybody who's like bored, you're not motivated, just watching like stupid garbage on YouTube. Go to a mud run. Yeah, try it out. You might like it. And Kelly and I treated ourselves to a race well completed with McDonald's. We did it. That's a winner's meal. Is that a mud run? Okay. Last time I did something that was really out of my character was dance ensemble. I don't like being on stage, and I can't dance, but I did it. And I had a lot of fun. And then I did it again. If I were to take anything away from this, just try things that you don't want to do, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun! I have a little bit of news to tell you. If you're thankful for 1 million people subscribing to your channel and you know it, clap your hands. 1 million subscribers. Isn't that something? I don't have to tell you that 1 million is a big number. I don't have to tell you that this channel is larger than 93 countries on Earth. I don't have to tell you that this channel is 43,000 people larger than Djibouti. And I don't have to tell you that if we went to war with Djibouti, we would have a strategic advantage. So I won't. But I will tell you that I'm thankful. All of this is happening at a pretty busy time in my life, so it really came out of nowhere. You've been patient with me and helped me achieve something I actually never thought would happen in my life. I'm lucky to have you. And if there's one thing I want to say to you guys, it's this. Thanks.
Open your third eye. Focus. What do you see?
I've been over this intro like a million times and I can't get it right, so I'm just gonna say it. I've had a premonition dream. What is it? What is that? What do you say? You don't know what that is? What is specifically define a premonition dream? Oops.
A premonition is a vision, a gut feeling, or another experience that grants you knowledge of things that haven't happened yet.
That sounds like dumb poo-poo. Because it is. I'm not a superstitious person. I would sooner go and re-damage my ankle than go and see a psychic for my own personal benefit. But I will admit that some dreams do have some meaning behind them. Like how I can be stressed in real life about money, and then I'm feeling and experiencing the same thing in a dream, but the only difference is that I can fly and my dad is Santa. Oh. There's some connection between the real world and the dream world there. But to be able to tell the future in a dream, that just doesn't make any sense. So why am I here claiming such things as having a premonition dream? Because I don't really know any other way to explain it. Okay, so here it is. We fade in. It's me. The year was a couple years ago. The place, basement. I've been playing Mario all day, and I was doing very well for myself, almost completing the entire game until I hit one castle level that was a little bit harder than average. There was no checkpoint in this level where I really needed it, so I did what anybody else would do after playing Mario for 10 hours. I went to bed. And you know when you do like one thing all day, almost obsessively, and then you go to bed and you end up dreaming about it? Well, that's what happened to me. And that night, I dreamt of Mario. Hey, what's going on? It was me in that castle level again. And the sensation was as if I was watching myself play. The level was exactly the same in the dream. There was this brown snake block thing that you had to ride through the level. You are tasked to stay on top of it without jumping off into a bunch of spikes. And while doing that, you're also responsible for dodging all of these spike balls. And then the snake approaches this hole, and it goes down the hole, and you're supposed to get off and continue the level. And that's where it would have been really nice to have a checkpoint. So the level would have been easier, manageable. But in my dream, it starts to go down, and I don't get off. I watch as I descend into the pit. I should be getting off, but I don't. And as common knowledge goes, this is where Mario would die. But in my dream, the camera followed down the hole. Very unexpected. Did not expect it. I didn't expect it. But there I was, descending. And at the bottom, there was a door and a checkpoint. Which is exactly what I needed! But it was a dream. The next day, I get up and I go try to play again. At this moment, I remember the dream. And I don't know why I tried it, but I decided to copy what happened in my dream. I bet you can tell where this is going. I tried the dream thing in real life and it worked! And now the level was gonna be a ton easier. There's a couple of ways this could have happened, but one sec, let me paint you some perspective. That's like you having a dream of you finding a secret box in your attic that you've never seen, and it has like cheese in it. Maybe M&Ms. Doesn't matter. You go and try to see in real life, and it's actually there. Like, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? How are you gonna do it? How are you gonna do that? I can't. That's what happened to me, and I know I can't explain it. Perhaps you wonder. This was all my unconscious mind telling me something from what I saw earlier in that day in my dream. Well, let me tell you, as the new seer of the universe. No, it wasn't. Did I look at a walkthrough or cheat sheet? No. Did I get tips or advice from my friends or family? No. All I did that day was play Mario and eat and then sleep. And ignoring the sad undertone of that day plan, I had no exposure to anything that would hint my subconscious to tell me that in the dream. Either I have an actual third eye, or that was a 1,000,001 coincidence. Who's gonna be the judge? Us. Right now. Non-stop, like, roll it. Okay?
Why?
Because it's like...
It's kind of...
Because I have this... So I got 20-sided dice. I got 6-sided dice. You can look at the dice.
I'm zooming in on your forehead quick.
You got...
Ooh.
Many dice.
And a coin.
This is 2-sided dice. Heads.
It's tails.
3.
It's a 6.
It is a 6. This one's 20-sided.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna choose... You can look at my face, by the way.
I refuse.
Let's do, like, 15.
Okay.
6.
Wait, how many sides did it
It
have?
was an 8.
Oh, 2. That's pretty close.
You're at like 0% right now.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
No.
Andy.
I forgot to guess.
Oh my god! No, don't go back to the coin. You've already failed the coin.
It's like the coin because it has higher odds.
No.
2.
No, we didn't.
Ah! What are the chances?
It's,
Zoom in on my face.
it's already zoomed. Oh, wrong way.
It didn't work.
You were blurry.
It didn't work. That's a wrap.
In the end, I beat the level with the new checkpoint and went on to beat the rest of the game. I still don't believe in psychics or fortune tellers or this guy, but that dream, it raises questions. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video that I have, and if you do, then I will appear in your dreams and we can hang out, but I will not stop farting. This is your brain. And this is your brain on ADHD. Wait, so it turns out your boy has ADHD. Who would have guessed? I got officially diagnosed about a year ago now. The process for getting diagnosed was odd. I didn't really know what to expect when getting diagnosed, but I didn't expect it to include wires, that's for sure. By the way, 2 things. 1, I am not a doctor, so always get a professional diagnosis if you suspect anything. And 2, ADD is no longer a thing. It is all under ADHD now, with 2 flavors. There is the inattentive type and the hyperactive type. And apparently, I am the inattentive type. So, all of this started with good old classic denial. I had a lot of ADHD symptoms for a long time, and we'll go over specifics later, but have you ever noticed in TVs and movies where ADHD is just like, ooh, a squirrel, ooh, a ladybug, ooh, a piece of candy? Ah! Well, that's only on the surface level of ADHD, and unsurprisingly, it is a much more complicated thing than popular media makes it out to be. Big surprise! I thought, I don't do that, and therefore, I don't have any ADHD, but one day, I was watching goofy internet videos, and saw something that was like, this video is very goofy and relatable. Allow me to just look down at what the creator wrote about the video, and possible tags associated with this morsel of entertainment. I don't suspect anything Arby's. This probably doesn't mean anything. This started to happen more and more until I started to ask some serious questions about myself. And I'll tell you how I figured out that I have ADHD. But first, you don't like watching sponsorships. But what if you could watch an entire sponsorship segment in under 1 second? Introducing the All at Once-a-tron. Just get inside and I pull this lever and... well... Plan B. NordVPN is a virtual private network service that gives you privacy online. If you're looking for a blanket of security while browsing the internet, VPNs are a great way to achieve that. Using NordVPN encrypts your browsing activity, so nobody knows who you are or where you're going. NordVPN can be used as an ad blocker, so you can get around annoying ads. Every once in a while, I want to watch something that isn't available in my country. So I boot up Nord to bypass those stupid poo-poo region block content restrictions, and I get what I want. Go to nordvpn.com/icecreamsandwich to get a 2-year plan plus 1 additional month with a huge discount. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. So after all of this, these coincidences, it's led me to think and reflect on a lot of things. There were a lot of memories that started to seem like signs more than just memories. Like forgetting to drink water for an entire day might be a sign of something and not just be a goofy little thing that I do sometimes. So I started to read books and watch lectures and learn as much as I could about ADHD. And the more that I did, the more that puzzle pieces started to click. These are things that I did that I thought were normal, but were actually signs of ADHD. Having hundreds of tabs open at a time constantly to a point where 30 gigabytes of RAM is a necessity is something people with ADHD do. Doing a task like locking a door, but seconds later, you aren't totally sure if you locked the door, so you relock it another time or 2. There's this thing I like to do when I'm alone, where I walk in circles for a couple of hours and I talk to myself. Don't judge me, I like it, but also apparently it's an ADHD thing. Reading paragraphs of books over and over, even though I'm very intentionally trying to read it, I have to do it multiple times. It took me ages to finish Hatchet. Ages! And it wasn't even that good. Going to do a task and forgetting what the task was on my way to do it because I'm thinking of something in the meantime. Chronically. Like this happens every day, all day. Like this one time, Kelly wanted some chocolate and I was like, I can get you chocolate. And I went to the kitchen to go get chocolate. But from point A to point B, I just got distracted. and I kind of found myself holding chocolate. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm hungry for chocolate. And I eat it. And I get back to the room where Kelly was sitting, and she was sad because I was eating her chocolate. I don't know how to explain it, other than like, I didn't mean to do that. It just happened, and it happens a lot. Caffeine does not work on me and just makes my heart rate go up. Contacting me is a nightmare and usually takes a couple of messages until I get around to it. Not doing things right up until the deadline. That one's a common one. And the list goes on. So after all of this reflection and learning, I have very strong suspicions that I have ADHD. So I had to get a professional to assess me and look at my brain. Oh God. The assessment included a bunch of questions, but the first part of it included this new test, which I think was called an EKG. They strap a bunch of wires to your head and measure your brain waves. The instructions were to stay still and do not move for 30 minutes. ADHD test. Stay still. 30 minutes.
Don't leave me here. My house. My God. Help me.
You already know the results. I had ADHD, and I felt weirdly relieved. There has been a lot of frustration in my life because despite trying really hard to focus, I could only achieve half as much as other people. So despite still having issues with it, it feels good to know why. I never expected that was going to be a meaningful thing to me, but here we are. Anyway, after my diagnosis, there was talk about medication, and that did not go well, but I'm going to make a second video about that. I have an idea of what I'm going to say, but since we're entering medication territory, I want to try to be a little bit more thoughtful about how I go about the video. So, need a little bit more time. Thank you for your patience about it. I wish you the best, and thank you for watching. Oh, piece of candy.